Alright, and welcome to Napoleon Total War. Remember, if you want your replays saved and uploaded, send them over to Carpusgamechannel at outlook.com. The link to the email address will be in the description. And as you see here, we are starting with a 3v3. It is the HC clan once again against the Valyrians. The Valyrians, as we know, as the ancestral incest bloodline from the Game of Thrones series. Wonderful. Let's praise these. Like you can see already, straight off it's two Prussians and the Ottomans against two British and a French. Straight off the back is already going to be a tough game. I'm going to say that the people on the right hand side currently are the HC, and the people upon our left is the Valyrians. So hopefully this will prove some very interesting battle. As you can see here, Britain's sending up some, he's got some King's German foot. Also it's normal and the light foot as well. King's German light foot is equivalent to the Prussian light infantry. I don't know if it's got any skirmisher units there to back them up, because normally I have the two King's Germans and then the three skirmishers, just a bit of variety if you're playing in Britain. But then it all comes down to variables and map scenarios. It's going to be one of those games where I'm probably going to end up talking very fast, on the pure fact that 3v3s is a lot to look at, and we are on Italian grassland, which is a pretty big map, as you can clearly see. But it all does equal itself out, considering there are 3 people upon this. Here, just sort of setting up some standard regiments. Be careful here. Prussia's already got the mid-high ground. They got the forest protection here. I know the French is also in the forest protection here, but I highly doubt these guys are going to fully push down in the hills. I don't know what Kev got here. Mountain as in credit. As you can see here, Prussia's bringing Jaegers. Prussia doesn't really bring skirmisher units actually, so this is going to be pretty interesting considering that Britain doesn't actually have any itself, unless we always rule out the accountability that some may actually be hidden. But with the skirmisher, especially, you got a little bit of higher ground, mainly knocking off here to your right hand side, but he's going to stick in the trees would be a better idea currently. That extra range, he can harass British line with relative ease. Coming over here now, currently, not really too sure what's happening. I remember the last time I played this game, I uploaded a video about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer now, with me and my Norwegian friend playing as Russian. Turns out the battle was thick over here, and he just sort of swooped around and closed it. Pretty interesting. Currently everything seems to be pretty tame. There is a time limit on this game, so we won't be stretching over an hour like last, which is nice, but 3v3s is, once engagement happens, it's just a big chain reaction normally, which kicks off and everyone is fighting everyone. As you can see here, our friendly Prussia is taking advantage of the density of the trees here, and also you got the high ground as well. You can move up. Guys are probably here, than most of them. They are indeed. Also, obviously, Britain knows that Prussia forces are here, so I think it's not a big mystery for them. Coming over here, however, is to sort of the other British, or just reform their lines. No gunfire or anything has happened yet. Everyone just seems to be slowly placing their men forward. There's probably a few little skirmishers gonna hop off here. It's probably hurt a couple of the British. Oh, now the British obviously seen this. Move them back to avoid a bit of fire here. Also, you've got to be careful, because if you try and charge, you also got the Fusiliers here, which will also be covering fire. Plus, you can see you can't really use cavalry because they've already placed about a dozen spikes apparently. Tree lines. So as you can see here, this is pretty useful. A small bit of fire here. Good thing about here, baited it. It did lose a couple of men, but could have been a lot worse if you didn't have this bit of fuel here as a variety. Also, a few shots happened here from the skirmishers. Dealt no casualties. Bit of a shame. They're trying to bring up more of a skirmish here. If Britain's able to catch them, he can do a lot of damage against the Jaegers upon this hand side. But I don't think it's going to do that. Plus, also you got these guys here. They are hidden, which is good. So they only fire if these guys get too close. But at this range, you can probably stop and get quite good harassment shots off over here. I'm looking over here, as you can see, the other armies are starting to mobilize a little bit, especially the Ottoman cavalry. So hopefully that could be pretty interesting. Got some gunfire now setting off here. Sadly, that these Prussian fusiliers up here weren't off a little bit more because they've done a lot more damage. But sadly, as you can see here, the British are also sending up more reinforcements. They're able to break that if they do get up there relatively. Depends how much he uses the musketeers. Here in a straight up fight, though, putting money on the light infantry. You got a higher rate of fire, etc., etc. Although they are a little bit of equal in the ground a bit with the tree lines there. Don't know if you're going to end up just losing a lot more men than you currently need to. You'll see a few of this stray shots have hit into the line regiment behind. You can see here, these units here got I say slightly better position. You can see a few of the shots had fell dead into the hillside. Don't know if you want to take advantage of this wound here, considering that there is no artillery current on this map. You get them here, they get a little bit extra range, and that would be a set of line infantry all in cover here, far into the tree line. Up here, as you can see, the Ottomans start to mobilize their cavalry very nicely here, which is probably going to make these guys be a little bit more cautious. They start to fall back ever so slightly. More gunfire firing off here. Got some Prussian now, Fusiliers coming in to join in the fight. They haven't been targeted in the shots, so they can do quite a lot of damage here against the British light infantry. Also going to be quite lucky here. They got a bit of defense here, and also they still do have the tree defense. I don't know how many skirmishers they didn't actually lose in that. Okay, one set lost almost 50% of the men. Here, I don't know if you can go for a straight line now, actually, to fire across, but you've got to be careful, I know. Not 4-3-4. That doesn't cut off yet. Alright, and then see here, obviously, Prussian now have his men, so he's got to be careful with that as well. I don't know why he's pulled back so suddenly. He could maybe do a little bit more on that, but now that they've pulled back in a bit, denser tree lines here, especially with the reinforcements of this fire. Gunfire probably wouldn't be the best strategies, but the only bad downside thing is now is really pulling back so far. This is going to reset to the course of the battle like just happened a second ago, with all of the Jaegers going to be marking up, or who's going to repeat this again? Sort of thing, but it looks like the British are putting a lot further back than last time. Also, still going to be careful of the few hidden troops in here. I can't say if they are hidden or not, actually. I would assume they are indeed. Coming back over here to see how things are going. Things seem to be pretty calm. So nothing's really happening. I don't know if it's always a bit of a risky move. You can't really do that until a later game, moving a block of forces around onto the side. But as you can see here, Prussia's got more than enough men to actually hold that off. That's going to be pretty foolish currently. As you can see here, Prussia's actually going to keep up the Vangston Guard. I don't know who they're going to be shooting at. They're going to be shooting at the life, but also got to be careful now of the Coldstream Guards. Coldstream Guards relatively decent elite infantry. All of the British infantry are pretty decent and somewhat versatile. Only bad thing is their armies tend to be a bit smaller because sometimes they can be pretty expensive when you get. There you go. As you can see here, the French and the British are obviously going to use their cavalry here to some form of counter-charge while they pull back. But obviously it's going to be highly in vain considering all the amount of men here that they got, and plus also you can see they got the Ottoman cavalry marching up the long-hand side. Ready for that. I have seen a lot more mobility over here. I don't know if Britain is actually going to go for the flank. Obviously, he's covered a lot by the tree lines in case there's any gunfire. There won't be any gunfire because you've got a massive cliff in this way. Plus side, if they get good position up here early, they do have the tree lines as well for a bit extra protection. But as we said, Prussia has more than enough men to sort of section this bit off now. Well, just in general. For any full combat happens. Coming back over here now, everything has seemed to have ceased ever so slightly. We're just going to look at see what they got in the trade-off here. Most of the damage was actually happened to one of the King Germans, which was a relatively nice trade, but don't quite sure if it was worth losing as much as he did over it. Like I said, looking at it, he did take a little bit unnecessary damage into his line infantry from that fight. His skirmishers and light infantry did do a relatively nice job in holding it. As you can see here, of course. Oh no, he decided not to put pressure down. Then if yeah, he's bringing up some light infantry. Can be relatively easy to cancel. You got guys here to cut off from the charging side. You also got footmen down here. I have set up cavalry to hit if you need to hit. Not too sure what he's doing now. I don't know if he's going to take advantage of this infantry here hiding behind the trees. Looking still up here because over on the mound they do have a little bit of gunfire happening. Did lose a few men in that, but also returning fire. There you go, trying to bring some cavalry up there as well. Always keeping your eyes on the mini map, knowing what's happening at all times. Given while you're playing though, you kind of fully focused upon your on your one side, so the Prussian would have seen him move that around relatively easily. He's not even hiding them, he's literally just pulling them right around. Prussia's playing very cautiously here within the trees. Do you think, with all of this light infantry and extra firepower, although granted Britain's going to have some men here, but with most of their army coming around this side, you can do a lot of damage here, especially if the Ottomans want to engage as well. And we really keep us a very few men in reserve on some of the cavalry here. And protecting this hand side here. Oh, nope, I thought the they voltigeurs? Yeah, that's Chasseur is wonderful. Someone's bringing the rate of fire over the accuracy. Everything has fully ceased down upon this hand side, so I'm very intrigued of what Russia's answer to this is. I think they might have started a little. I wouldn't say that what they're doing is too little, too late. I really don't know what the pathfinding of the there we go is doing with all of this camels here. But as you can see, Britain's now seems to get a very nice sweep around. Sorry, my voice is cutting up. Around on the Prussians. Never doubt what the Prussians can do. I was swarmed once as Prussia, but you are managed to cook it off pretty easily. Also, you got to be careful mainly of these cavalry here. I know France do have some cavalry here as a little bit in reinforcements, but you can see here some armies moving out. You could pull back and try and defend up the hill, but then you're still surrounded again. And you can see though it does look like he is bringing up these guys now for the gunfire here. The British did pull up, see if they can get a good surround. Turns out they can't. Well, do be careful here. Nice, there's no real. Most of the light infantry is facing that side, and you need some facing down this side, or else the these light foot here can probably do a little bit more damage than you do not want them to do. I'll tell it like they were facing that way. You do have a set here with first shut off is probably, or could be enough to actually to be a deterrent, make them pull back ever so slightly. So as you can see here, he's bringing up even more now. You've got 2 to 1. If they get a first shot, they can win the skirmishers fight easily. Sometimes it does come down to first shot, which is very tensely sort of moments, but statistically wise, the Prussians are the better. Only bad thing, however, I don't really know what they're going to do. The Valyrians. Oh, well, look at here. I was about to mention them in a second. I was going to talk about this first, but it looks like the cavalry is actually deciding to charge up. Oh, I say charge up. A relatively good pace. They didn't get into square formation, which is surprising. They are going square formation now, so I don't know if they can get a shot off and then pull back. And see now the Prussians are starting to move up because forcing them in square formation. If these guys get a good shot off when they're in this formation, it's going to do a lot more damage than needed. As you can see here, over amount of gunfire happening here, fully weakening them to them. You've got the camels now going into the cavalry. Has put some rank on them because, to be honest, camels are pretty shitty. Managed to get the rank on them now. Everything now is kicking off. We've got some gunfire now into the side here. All of this move up here with the Ottoman Empire cavalry can easily break this left hand side here, only leaving this side to completely get swarmed. As you can see here, Britain is also charging up over here. He's got some light foot. Doesn't have any King's German. He doesn't have none of the King's Germans, so currently he's on a little bit of the back foot in terms of statistics against the Prussians, but the Prussians now have to fight war on 2 sides, so don't know how well this is going to go. You've got the British here. As you can see, the Ottomans have been killed. Yeah, because it's only the cavalry gunfire, you managed to get to the line of shot. I would have pulled these guys up just a little bit more on the side to help in the gunfire. Over here, however, it does look like Britain will be losing this fight. You've got to be careful here if the French cavalry is still marking in, but the French cavalry will probably get sawn relatively easily due to the numbers. A very similar stat style of this, plus you also got the Prussian new lands or lancers coming to here, and also you got the a lot of infantry here coming to fight. So it looks like now Britain's going to want to be pulled back, maybe hold off this tree line here just a little bit. Don't know if he wants to commit any more to this. No, he is pulling back. As you can see, the Ottoman Hussars are starting to come in also to lend some firing aid upon that. I am seeing over here, so even some more gunfire is what we're saying. Apologies if it gets hard to understand me because we get into gunfire. It looks like Britain is actually now decided to fully, I wouldn't say fully commit, he is committing to try and do as much damage as he can to this front line. You got a couple of the Highland foot, yes, 2 Highland foot. Guards coming up behind, which would be additional gunpowder. Gunfire behind all this. There's more gunfire over here. I can hear it because the French are starting to mobilise, trying to help out on the side here. But obviously the Prussian hidden infantry has set up a few rounds. Obviously, you're making these guys sort of like, okay, we're gonna have to reform my lines just a little bit here to try and return fire over here. Everything is kicking off over here. I am still keeping my eyes over here. There's some gunfire over there, and as you can see, the cavalry has just fallen over there from the Ottomans. British have moved up now. Coming to here, some cavalry almost got a nice charge against the Jaegers. Did manage to slightly hurt the morale a bit, but they did get caught up on the musketeers here. Quickly going to square formation, which was absolutely wonderful. And as I say that, so many guns just start firing then, did they not? Okay, I'm gonna look up here. Up here, it does. They do have a little obsession. Over here, it does look like the Prussians probably will not hold this top here. They will be able to do significant damage still. I don't know if they want to try and hold this with minimal units and pull guys up here, but the looks of it, Britain will break the Prussians here on the left hand side. The Ottomans, however, will probably kill that Fusilier unit relatively easy. I don't know why they're still stuck in square formation, but the French is now starting to push up ever so slightly to return gunfire. Obviously not discounting the fact that the Ottomans do currently have the density of the trees for a little bit of cover, but as you can see here, some of the French cavalry is charging in, so he's got to be careful now of these units maybe pulling them back. They will obviously get shot upon by all of these guys, but you don't know if it's going to be too little too late. The musketeers now still holding in from the Prussians upon the hand side. I'm going to quickly dart over here because I don't know what's happening. Everything seems to be pretty tame. The British had to obviously fall back a little bit, reform the lines, both of, well, staying with each side really. Some obviously skirmish shots here. Got to be careful because the rate of fire against these and these, the Prussians will end up losing that. I'm going to quickly jump back over here again because this is where everything seems to be kicking off. As you can see here, the cavalry did manage to charge. It did disrupt a lot of the gunfire from the Ottoman line infantry. Got a couple guys here in square formation, seeing that you have more of the cavalry here coming in. You still got the heavy gunfire coming off from these units and the reinforcing units here. Not managed to stop all of the gunfire, but did manage to stop these chasseurs here, which will benefit them. Every little bit helps, so to speak. And now the British are actually now starting to send men into aid upon this hand side here. I don't know really what's going to happen here. Ottomans, I don't know if they're going to pull back. I'm not going to square formation. Obviously the cavalry here is going to do a lot of damage to the musketeers. Obviously still allowing these guys to keep up the gunfire over here. As you can see, managed to break off a bit of the Ottomans cavalry regiment. I do need a drink. My teeth are actually starting to hurt. I don't know what unit this is here. Some peasant levy. They're probably there just to absorb the just to absorb bullets as these gunfire. I mean, I'm going to put down my drink. I don't have time to drink. You can still hear charging. The French managed to get right around into the back of these lines here. I don't know how. I don't know if Britain's taken any massive advantage of it, or it's really done disrupted their lines. Their front is still going. Gunfire is coming heavily, and more French is now coming in. Gonna hit these. Got to be careful that there is a few spikes here. There's not many, considering the tree lines did disrupt that quite a little bit, but that will still kill enough to deter their morale just a little bit for Prussia to probably even break that left hand side. Probably not looking too great now. Right hand side has stabilized its position quite nicely. You've got to be careful here. As you can see, these lancers probably won't be able to hold off too much now. They're going to get into melee, which is going to be, well, they could win prolonged melee, but at the end of the day they won't hold that from charging the gunshot. And also you got the foot guards here. Put into a small square formation, so we'll hold that. So I would not be surprised if they break any second. Coming back over here, as Prussia is still adamantly holding this line. You got some more British here charging against the Ottoman Hussars. Got to be careful. You do have a lot of the line infantry, admittedly, to hold this. All of them now going into square formation, making a big line to hold any further advantage. Because when you've got so many units, you still got a line here of gunfire against them. Sorry, the Combine want me to pick up cans on my text alert, and I did not expect that. Woo! My teeth are really hurting. I should really brush them in a second. I only just had breakfast. Sorry, that was irrelevant information. Going back now to it, over amount of gunfire. The Prussians will hold this, considering. Well, I'll say they will hold this. They are having the edge currently due to the tree lines, but as you can see, even more cavalry coming in now, going to completely disrupt these lines, probably even break the musketeer units, and do heavy damage to the Jaegers, which is something that the Prussians do not really need right now. So the British Valyrian regiment here is now doing a lot of damage, and I'm not too sure how long the Prussians can hold. They can probably hold here quite a bit because you do still have the Ottomans as reinforcements. It's looking like it's an equal trade despite the casualties on both sides, especially the Prussians do not look like they're doing good currently here. As soon as I say it looks like an equal trade, everything just hits the fan. The Brits still there fighting. What have you got here? You got the King's German Light Dragoon, you got I won't call them the proper elite cavalry, but they are a lot better obviously than the standard Dragoons, so they have the speed and pretty decent in terms of melee as well that comes to that. I'm still looking over here on the mini map, not much combat is actually happening over to our far side there, so we'll jump there soon. Like you can see, just overwhelming gunfire now is going to pretty much take out the last of the Prussians. I don't know if it's going to be in vain or not, but you could try and use some units back here just to try and hold the Ottoman side as long as possible. That said, however, what they call British, I don't know why that word completely slipped my mind, the British cavalry did manage to rout another unit there, and hopefully they're going to be out of this fight very soon, hopefully the British cavalry there, because it's about time they got the second rank, as is truly deserved. Over here, however, I'm going to do a quick glance over because it looks like the British are now starting to push up on this hand side. Got a first shot from all of these Prussians here, which is going to do a lot of damage, could be much needed. But at the same time, I don't know if now they're too far stretched, you've got too many guns here to fully hold this line. What you really could do is to send these units into melee and get these guys here to focus on the fire on this side. Plus, you got all the men here to focus fire. You could break this relatively easily. Ottomans actually look like they're holding relatively well. You got some of the you got the commence melee infantry. Got these guys now. They actually are pushing the French back, and it looks like for a little bit at least that the Prussians here have managed to stabilize their lines. And I don't know if that trade-off at the end of everything has actually turned out worse for the British. This is where things like this make no real sense. Probably wise to bring up your general though just into these tree lines here, because you're going to need the sector morale here. Just gunfight, as you can see here on the front lines. Another unit of musketeers have routed. To be fair, they did stand in until they got 24 men remaining, which is very brave in it themselves. Coming over here now, looks like just the oh, they got some cavalry charging here to delay any form of gunfire and advance from them. Could even break the British. Broke the British light infantry, which is wonderful. But it's going to be now careful. Of course, more of the British cavalry is moving up, and everyone's starting to mobilise here. The Prussians now may look like they're a little bit outcove, but looking at their amount of firepower is still incredibly high. You just got to worry about the cavalry charges and all of that to not block it off. And you see here, I don't know if he managed to get the actual general now. He did not. That was a pretty close call. Losing the general could have caused a mass rout, considering that everyone into combat. Even more cavalry is charging up here now. They did charge through all of the spikes there, and they did reinvert. I don't know if anyone was going to get caught up on the spikes, but that would have helped the Prussians a little bit there. But obviously, as you can see, just the momentum of that cavalry charge has managed to make them come in and do what they needed in terms of holding the gunfire for a little bit and getting your men to get the additional shot off. And that said, though, some hussars have managed to push up and now are helping. You've got some melee coming into now. The men obviously did rout as expected against foot guards. The amount of gunfire did do significant damage against them. Pushed back the French. Wonderful. Is it surprising that the French pulled back first in the war? We'll let that to the comments decide. Coming here now, more British still charging. I don't know if extra Ottoman reinforcements here. I reckon they could hold that by the skin of their teeth, because the Ottomans now do like their intention to send aid, and they have sent aid over here as well to recovering the shots here against the British. As I was saying a second ago, even some French are in here actually. Amount of firepower here is still quite significant for our HC guys here, so it's a risky charge, but at the end of the day, this has actually just kicked off everything. As I was saying earlier, once one thing happens, it all kicks off. I don't think I've actually inhaled for a while. There we go, that's needed. That's really bizarre. Over here, they do have more than enough units. Probably what you have the unit advantage. You get these two units here. Would have had these spread across to start off with, so you got the whole line, and then had at least one, maybe even two units So we'll have one to come around for the side hit flank and one in reserve in case one of these units fall back. But at the moment like this, I think they are still holding very well. I have looked over here, don't worry, I am still glancing up. Happening over here on our screen over here, they have managed to push back the British and managed to hold, through all luck would have it. I don't know who just hit off the rally then. I think it was British here. He's going to be very careful. He's only got 3 men left. Seeing that. So more gunfight is happening though. It's probably going to be enough to either push back or completely break the British here. It depends how determined the Valyrian is. Did manage to rout the cavalry. I did not count that out, do not worry. So obviously with that broken now, you got the extra foot guards here now, additional firepower. This unit isn't going to last, there we go. And now he's going to take down these foot guards and hopefully move along to the Black Watch, etc, etc. Look at that, he even got, that's the Night's Watch, isn't it? Damn, it could have been a good little thing there. And as you can see here, the Old Guard is committing to a charge. Ottoman Empire actually, Sicily are actually pretty versatile in terms of their melee. Pretty much having the standard is, I believe, the equivalent or slightly better than like the Hungarian Fusiliers for the Austrians. Coming over here now, as you can see, there we go. We've gotten to get the surround a bit now, just forcing the British to pull back. He's got to count his losses here. I don't know if he can hold his ground or just go to the barrow's end and fully commits us. Even the French are starting to help here, sending in his actual general into melee. Also, he picked off the rally before he did. And you can see the Ottomans now also just reinforcing their lines here, getting the shots off. They managed to turn their ankles. As you can see, the Polish Legion are charging. Polish Legion are also very decent in melee, but they got the first shot off the Ottomans, plus the numbers. In terms of themselves, the Polish will not do as much damage here as probably needed. As you can see, the Prussians have also started to, I say obviously, they're still pretty tough, but it will pull through. In the end, especially with Ottoman, as you can see here, sending in a few extra reinforcements, so I do not see the right hand side going too well. I'm just going to have a quick glance over to this side to see how much losses has actually happened. It is ridiculous. If you can see everybody. Unbelievable. Heavy casualties here. I don't think Britain's going to charge for a proper push anytime soon. That was it was tense. There was a bit where I genuinely believe that Prussia had lost that side. But over as you can see, it's many stragglers up on the left hand side there. It's probably stragglers really everywhere. They are very unformal lines. There you may be in the tree lines, but at the same time you've got so much more men shooting at you, plus a lot of them have ground advantage, so it's pretty much double that again. Like this British Coconut Rangers here are clearly seeing the French are starting to move in again, so there's the British up here. I don't know if this is where now they're going to go all in, because a lot of units have been delayed here. Some gunfire has been set off by the Ottomans. I don't know if the French is going to. Well, the French could break this easily. They don't have anything there. But you also got to be careful. All of these Ottomans here putting it over to reinforce. Bam! Straight away, as you can see here, the Prussians will be able to hold that against the British. So now it just comes down between these two nations. I don't know what's going to happen totally up here. I'll see some of the Ottomans men. Ooh, pardon me. Are obviously helping reinforce that line. Got some of the high ground here. If they shoot, they probably. A lot of their shots, if they do fire here, probably will fall into the ground. As you can see here, the British are starting to rout now, just in time before any of the major combat properly happens here, because now the Prussians can use whatever men they have left after, of course, taking down your straggler. The Black Horse is standing there, lurking until the bitter end. Fuck me, I mean, Jesus Louise. There's no swearing on my channel. There's a lot of swearing on my channel. As you can see, very effective if you really want to get rid of these units here, but the only bad thing is you got a lot of men here, and like I said, the Prussians now starting to send their men up as reinforcements. So it's going to be a surround and a takedown on the French. I don't imagine these units walking away with a loss of men, but you can clearly see you got enough reinforcements for them to take that loss and carry on the fight over here. The Prussia actually does look a lot better than I actually would have ever imagined. But also now with another British advance, you're going to be somewhat careful on what's going to happen here. You got obviously some Ottomans as reinforcements firing into the foot guards, or just the foot infantry. Over here, so some more French are retreating, as are some Ottomans. The gunfire is now pretty much happened. You got these units here setting off this gunfire. Obviously, you got these units in the front lines. I'm not too sure what the Prussians can do here, because they do have some cruisers off the line pushing up, and they are against foot guards though. So whatever happens isn't really going to be a massive impact. Probably we needed just to charge them, have these units here, and then just help charge again, because you would have won that into melee. But that said, you know how long it's going to take for melee to actually kick off and finish. Prussians obviously now come up with the side hit here of the French, so the French aren't going to be able to hold this with any stretch of the imagination unless for some reason everyone on the HC side just leaves. And you can see there's a lot more gunfire happening. It is totally ridiculous, but as you can see now, it is clearly all in the vein. If I was Britain, as it sounds like he is doing, is just charge. Kill as much men as you can before you've got like another 3,000 reinforcements hitting you from the sides you do not want to be hit. Oh, however, though, they do have to march through quite a lot of tree lines. They managed to get the Ottomans to get a couple shots off at least. They're just going to send in the Highland Foot. Highland Foot a little bit worse in terms of melee defense, but they do have an additional point in the attack side of melee. Over here, as you can see, Prussia, even if they didn't have all of these reinforcements coming, would have held this relatively easily. The French, of course, have already broken and completely gone from this entire fight. Absolutely crazy. I think while I lie down, I'm going to treat myself to a drink. Oh, that felt good. Wonderful. I'm just going to let this play out now. We'll go over to this side a little bit so you can see what's happening on all the other sides. That was unbelievably tense. There you go. I might as well wrap it up now, saying my goodbyes, but I'm actually surprised that the British are still alive with these tree lines here. Absolutely crazy. The two sides. I will say though, you gotta have some balls to fight in this war. I mean, the feudal era, like obviously the medieval era, is pretty the easiest way. Unless you recognise it. I mean, fighting people close to combat like that takes some nuts, but at the same time, you gotta think early gun battles were just as bad, because one shot can kill you. You've got like 100 men in front of you standing like 100 yards away, just firing. It's like, oh. But as you can see here, obviously this unit isn't going to hold off too much. I have been Carpus. I hope you enjoyed. A wonderful thank you to the HC clan and the Valyrians. As I said before, if you've got any videos you would like me to upload in any Total War, doesn't just have to be Napoleon, I would highly appreciate it, and also you'll get yourself immortalized on the internet. French, as you can see here, starts to break on the left hand side. Send the replays can be found in your C drive, in your programs, users, app data, then I think it's local roaming, creative assembly. Then you got the list of the Total Wars, and the Total War folder. There's a folder called replays. Send that over to carpuschannelreplay at outlook.com. I will put it in the description again if none of you didn't catch that. And wonderful. As you can see here, the victors. I don't want to call them the losers. Both teams fought amazingly. To be fair, there were times where I genuinely forgot to breathe, and I do speak quite fast, and a lot of the time I am not the easiest person to understand. It's wonderful being Cornish. So, thank you. I've been Carpus once again, and I'll see you next time.